No longer do I feel the probing gaze of the Watching One. Is this your doing, newest of the Arisen? I am he who brought the dragon low, and o'er its bones raised the proud kingdom of vermin. Despite the magnitude of my feat, I was dissatisfied, and sought e'er greater heights, till at last I ruled the world entire. Thus did I come to know of the Watching One, the being by whose many eyes and ears no one or thing in this world goes unobserved. As to the purpose with which they watch, I know not. Yet I did divine one thing. This world has lain neath the Watching One's unwavering gaze ere the dawn of its history. I despaired at this discovery, for if all is but a stage, did that not render my hard-won glories, my throne astride the world, mere spectacles for the all-seeing eye to watch? Aye, 'twas all a farce, and I, the fool, exulting in my wooden crown. Do you understand, newest of the Arisen? This is why I sought to fell the Watching One. Alas, though I cut down all who seemed false, be they man or woman, human or beastman, young or old, I did not succeed. Indeed, my efforts led only to my own ruin. I was dubbed the Mad Sovereign, and by the hand of the new Arisen, consigned to this place forevermore. Yet, I can only assume that you have achieved what I could not. How else to explain the changes I sense in the world? Ah, what bitter gall that I cannot witness the outcome for myself. Falter not, newest of the Arisen, for your path is just, and fading spirit though I am, I may yet summon those who can be of aid to you.
I see you have returned, Arisen One. The Mad Sovereign has called, and so we answer. If you would save the people of this world from ruin, lead them here. For this place may chance to escape the coming destruction.
Perhaps a place of refuge is a splendid idea. It is safe, and apt to become quite cheerful once a crowd settles in.
Since time, remember, draconic blood. Flows through the veins of less. The drakes as well. Bring me. Then I bid ye farewell.
The mad it could prove the last. The coming destruction.
Master, if you're carrying around anything you don't need, there's no time like the present to rid yourself of it.
Since remember, draconic. Blood flows. Then I bid ye farewell.
Shopping is such fun.
Full glad I am to be returned to you, Master. I cannot thank you enough.
I've just remembered a curious rumor I overheard once. Seems there's an
Might as well take a look. While you're here, stop by again soon.
Welcome. And quality is what you need if you want to survive. So before you check the... price, just remember, hope to see you again.
Majesty. How glad I am to see you safe. Where have you been this past month? The end of the world. Are things truly so dire? Though, I am aware of the dragon attack on Melv. We received word that naught but a smoking ruin remains. 'Twas a tragedy, and I would not see it repeated. However, without a clear path, we in the Guard shall be hard-pressed to forestall the impending crisis. You would have me evacuate the city? I see. Mayhap 'twould be for the best. Ever since the fall of Melv, the citizens of Vernworth have lived in fear that their homes are next to be assailed. If there is safe harbor to be found elsewhere, I believe we have naught to lose by seeking sanctuary. But I doubt I could convince the people of this city to abandon their homes, however terrified they may be. Methinks your majesty would do better to ask this of the Regent King. After the false sovereign vanished and the world was altered, His Grace has been the one keeping order here in Vermont. If the people will heed anyone, 'tis him.
'Tis admirable how Regent King Sven has taken up command of the kingdom. We would be remiss not to offer him our aid.
No quarrel here.
So you've come. I'm glad to see you. Captain Brandt has already apprised me of your proposal, a full-scale evacuation of the citizenry. Truth be told, I had reached the same conclusion. So long as we cower within these walls, we must live in fear of going the way of Melv. My ministers have approved the plans, and I have petitioned the encampment survivors and the Thieves' Guild for aid. The only remaining obstacle is my mother. She has set herself stubbornly against any such flight. I have tried to make her see reason, but of late she has taken to shutting herself in her chambers. However, I cannot bring myself to leave my own mother behind. If I cannot convince her, I mean to remain here and share in her fate. Now, there are a few matters I must attend to before we can evacuate, and I would fain welcome your assistance. We will require several ox carts to carry the sick and aged out of the city. Might I prevail upon you to petition the merchant at the ox cart station in the west of the city for their use? You may assure him that the Royal Treasury will foot any and all expenses.
Queen Regent Disa hardly leaves her chambers, and all her meals come back scarcely touched. Between you and me, I fear for her health. Have you come to claim my life, Arisen? Well, far be it from me to deny you, but I shall go to the grave with a smile on my lips, for I have no regrets. All I did for my darling son. So do as you will. I have no intention of begging for mercy. What are you doing? Unhand me at once! Guards! Help me!
You have brought Mother to me, I see. My thanks, friend. You have done me a great service.
Sven.
You may leave us. Now that we can speak without a door twixt us, I am confident that I can persuade her. I know not what to make of this.
What could be done about it?
I only pray my watch.
I'm about ready to fall asleep in my bed.
swords off the trade.
I cannot help but be wary.
Why should lust? Bucks are not at the expense.
It's been a hard day.
Be gone with you, ruffian. These carts are mine. I paid good gold for them. And if you think I'll surrender a single one, you'd best think again. I require the use of all of them to transport my wealth to safety. What are you doing? Put that away. No, spare me. I pray you. I fear for my life.
Well, reckon he won't be coming back here in a hurry. As a matter of fact, I'd like to thank you for that. It didn't sit right, see? Having my wares claimed by some puffed-up minister trying to save his own skin. Anyhow, as long as I've got my gold, who takes the carts is no concern of mine. And if that craven comes crawling back, I'll tell him bandits took them.
Minister Allard has fled, and good riddance. I doubt there ever was a more cravenly character in all Vermont.
That's just what I was thinking.
Ah, you've returned. How fares your procurement of those carts? You do? My thanks. That puts paid to the last of our preparations. I will inform the citizenry forthwith.
Townspeople to protect
I fear for the Arbor. It would seem that... My friend, how glad I am to see you yet live. When word reached me of your uncanny disappearance, I admit I feared the worst. What has become of this world? Our people fear for the future. We cannot be sure we will be safe here, yet this place is all we know. All we have. You think we need to evacuate? I see. And you know of a place where we might find refuge? I should gladly follow you, but I fear my father will not be so easily persuaded. Nonetheless, we can but try. Come.
As arborist, Sir Taliesin is the leader of the Elven people. Let us follow our guide that we might speak with him.
'Tis as you say.
Lungtena peli telume, ane martir tindume.
Findelnar, ne veo norwende lis kemen, moriven lis irumar meldol netara.
Kasinke telpi nun finaler, nun mor arda her. Karilm ilmen arkael, silfa nambawe nun kalael alame, angadur sindi.
Mornambwe roth enfane ava silmines vana. Erurne kemen malantar ingadur, fielis lintan morivin nun we ingerina?
Kemenindur kanyan irils aldekar. Eteler lea fermor eldalia iralotte. Ondvana alvekil eteler ne anler ailame.
I am afraid my father has closed his heart so tightly that even my words cannot reach him. If only the Arbor heart were restored to health, perhaps he might be persuaded.
Kiriando anmindor hiroth. Arta hir kurir. Morfa erando. Amanda kill.
There are more who can yet be saved.
Let us begin with the place most likely to be marked for destruction.
My duty is to care for this, our sacred tree. The Arbor Heart, she is called. She has been with us a very long time. She is nature's very heart, and a pillar of strength for my people. We have always lived in harmony with nature, and the Arbor Heart is our connection to the land. Yet, day by day, her strength is failing. I must give her nourishment of the soil to help her recover. A special kind, called Gwifentia in my language. I know not what you would call it in yours. Once, a dwarf wandered into the arbor and gifted some to us. It filled the Arbor Heart with life. Now, little remains. Too little for the Arbor Heart to recover her strength in full. She begins to wane. Do you know of this substance? It must be found outside the arbor somewhere. If you find any, will you tell me where it lies?
You say you're on the hunt for Gwifentia. Darren asked that of you, I expect. 'Tis said a woefully lost blacksmith once stumbled into the arbor and left some of it with us upon parting. In your language, 'tis called by another name. What was it? I know I've read of it. Of course. Scale Cinder. That's the one. It can be found in Batal, I believe. I know no more than that. It isn't much talked about, you see. The blacksmith was a dwarf, and the elders are rather prejudiced about their ilk.
Kemenindur kan...
We've arrived well enough. Where to next?
Looking for all The end is nigh.
Ah, such loathsome premonitions are better cast aside.
Got some work for me, eh? Got some work.
Aye. What brings you to Brocker's smithy? Looking for scale cinder, are we? Well, you're in a luck. Our forge is flit. Oh, 'tis at an elf's behest, you say. I'm afraid that changes things a wee bit. Elves and dwarves don't get along, see? Brocker won't want to help you. Unless you were to offer him aught he couldn't resist. Listen, I happen to know there's one bit of elven culture no dwarf can turn their nose up at. All elven fare's bland as grass. All of it. That is, save the singularly flavoursome dish, Nutriab. Course, no dwarf would openly admit to having a taste for it. But the fact of the matter is, the mere smell of that dish has dwarves foaming at the maw. Don't believe me? Bring a bowl of it to Brocker. You'll soon see.
Welcome. As a discerning customer like yourself will doubtless appreciate, we offer excellent service at a fair price. Do come again.
Dead on my feet.
Well met.
You've pushed your luck too far. I'll not take that from you.
Pray calm yourselves, good people. I will have none of this squabbling.
Sir Manella, you don't understand. This scoundrel's the one who started it.
No, you don't understand. This is no time for the people of Batal to be quarreling amongst themselves. We shan't weather this calamity unless we can recall our common purpose and unite our efforts towards it.
We meet again. What brings you here today, cuz? Mind if I ask a favor of you, cuz? Another time, perhaps.
Ah, Sir Arisen. You are returned, I see. With the world in such disarray, I could not stand to be away from my homeland. Thus did I return, to render what aid I may. I maintain order as best I can, but for every fire I extinguish, it seems 3 more are incited behind my back. But enough of my woes. What brings you here? You wish us to evacuate? Mayhap the idea merits some thought. After all, if we sit on our haunches, 'tis likely only a matter of time before we share the fate of Mel. Alas, the people of Batal are far from united in purpose at present. Should we proceed, unheeding of their divisions, I fear that our efforts would come undone ere long. With every soul at their wits' end, conflict is like to spark at the slightest provocation. As such, before we take any measures, I would have you walk amongst the people, Sir Arisen, and should you encounter any discord, pray do aught you can to resolve the people's quarrels and assuage their fears. Such efforts will doubtless allow the evacuation to proceed all the more smoothly. As for me, my work here is far from done. Let us part ways for now, and reconvene when you have accomplished all you can.
It's no mere tavern brawl we are to mediate, Master. Due caution is advised, methinks.
I knew it to be so.
Ah! You're just riding on your father's coattails!
You slander my honor, sir! I demand a duel. This is no business of yours. Be gone!
Now, Narborough, let's not be too hasty. If we are to duel, we ought to have a witness. Otherwise, who's to say the victor fought with honor?
Aye, true enough. Without a witness, either of us could simply kill the other, then disavow the use of any underhandedness. Well, sir, what say you? Will you watch over us while I take this scoundrel to task? This knave dared to slight my honor. He said my swordsmanship was hardly fit to wound a training dummy. The bloody nerve of him.
And I'd say it again. 'Twas your dear father's patronage that made you a sentinel, not your own skill.
Very well. I'll not force the issue, but do keep back, lest you become entangled in the fray.
Ah! Let us settle this, once and for... How dare you interrupt a battle between honorable opponents?
Such humiliation shan't go unanswered. Prepare yourself, sir.
Look at us, put in our place like a pair of whelps.
I ought to thank you for holding up a mirror to our foolishness. We've better things to do than squabble over petty slights.
Aye, consider your lesson well taught. Methinks I'd best reapply myself to my training.
I was most surprised when you intervened in their duel. Did you aim to temper their pride by proving neither your equal?
Oi! I saw it first. Trust a flea-ridden hide to take it all for himself.
Why must I share with a fangless one? This is no more your food than Batal is your land.
You there! You couldn't have come at a better time. Put this upstart in his place for me, won't you? Go on, lay into him. Is this some kind of joke? You're siding with that flea-ridden hide? You can bloody have it then, Nomos. I hope you choke on it.
I owe you thanks, stranger. I never thought you'd take my side. This ought to be a lesson to me, I suppose. I've taken all humans for scoundrels, but you seem a decent sort, come to think of it. Mayhap I owe Glint an apology as well.
Your response has proven their prejudices faulty. I dare say those gentlemen will bury the hatchet anon.
I like that.
I've had well enough of your nitpicking.
I reckon the world would be better off without you.
Oi, you! Don't go poking your nose in our business.
Aye, leave off or we'll make you.
Have you lost your bloody mind?
Reckon you can just cut us down in the street? What's the matter with you? Eh? Fine, fine. We'll set our squabble aside for today, so bother us no more.
Things appear to have quieted down around the city. Shall we bring word of our doings to Sir Manella?
Ah, Sir Arisen. In less pressing circumstances, I would take issue with your methods. But I cannot deny your efficacy. The people of Batal are beginning to see that they must stand together if they are to survive this calamity. We shall see the fruits of your labors when the time comes to evacuate. At the very least, we need not expect too much opposition to the announcement. Pray, return to Empress Nadinia and apprise her of your doings. I must remain here to ensure no further squabbles arise. Heavens only know how many lives you have saved this day. I hope you'll accept this humble reward for your efforts.
Surely I'm overdue a day off. I've got to focus. My shift's only just begun.
Blessing.
Been a slave.
I've trained for this.
Both mind and body
I only polished it this morning.
Ne'er put gold in my pocket.
Her Majesty has begun her supplications. None may see her ere they conclude.
Stay your hand, Vera. This one may pass. Come hither. We would speak with you. One of our ministers informs us that you have been espied in the city, resolving the people's troubles. You have our gratitude for your efforts, which have doubtless bettered the fate of this nation and its citizenry. Your journey continues, does it not? We wish you good fortune on your travels, wheresoe'er they may take you.
Pray excuse the interruption, Your Majesty, but I fear time is upon us. I would see you prepared for the road ahead.
Indeed. Forgive us, but we must take our leave. Farewell.
Bakbatal and the rest town are now safely evacuated. I am certain we can rely upon Sir Manella to keep the peace.
A resounding success! Salma Arisen.
Master, I'm not sure how much longer I can keep going without...
Elelote and Osto Silfa Malantha Alekan.
There are worse things than turning it...
I've nothing to share at present.
There is naught more you can achieve here, Arisen. The time for resistance is long past.
Isilrot Fanun Kalaya Long.
Kiriando anmindor hiroth, arta hir courier, morfa erando, amanda kill. Kiriando
Arefa. Nambao.
Sono
Lia Palan Malantha.
I've got good feet.
Elelote and Osto Silfa Malantha Alekan.
I have no issue falling asleep.
All that remains is for you to fulfill your final duty, to witness this world's end with your own eyes.
A good sleep does wonders.
Come, we've much to be getting on with.
lungtena peli telume, ondovana alvekil eteler ne anler ailame.
Osto Silfa Malantha Alekano.
There are worse things than turning it.
The flow of time feels almost unsteady.
Indeed. What we once held to be true is now changed.
Is there no way to return things to how they were before?
Fionar elwe arfarne nenwen sur orne? Alcarwa fir nun eldaya menelume sur carilm. Vanelin hyror soron, sorne an fameltol, nundis amanda kill angadur femor.
I would like to do some shopping.
Fancy any of my wares?
Since times of remember, draconic blood flows through the veins of lesser drakes as well. Then I bid ye farewell. Since time... I see. Since time... Remember, draconic... blood flows through... the veins of lesser... Then I bid ye farewell.
Uncountable created, only to be snuffed out like candles by the cold breath of oblivion. Eventually, the Great Will tired of witnessing this. It sought to overturn oblivion by granting unto it a law, a duty, an identity. I speak of the dragon. Great will does the dragon create a cycle, allowing it to forestall the end of this world time and time again. Yes, Arisen, this world has been safeguarded by the dragon all. You yourself were chosen to form a part of this cycle. The Arisen is selected by the Great Will to play the role of the dragon's guarantee. That is how its life is built. The dragon serves to This is the true meaning of the Dragon's Dogma. Once, everyone in this world had a role to play. For a well-crafted tale has no excess. There must be a reason for each character's inclusion. Yet, this means that should even one of these characters stray from their assigned role, the tale entire will unravel. And if it does, their world will end. Such is the choice you make, isn't it? By rejecting your own duty in this world, you have robbed all others of the chance to fulfill the lives they will serve. Pawns are no exception. Born with nothingness, they were granted the role of aid, education, and science. Yet, live for the dragon, that role is unlimited. Only nothingness separates them now. There is surely no fate more pitiful than to be possessed by them.
To me now, Arisen. I am no longer a mere vessel. Your great will has imbued me with a lesser will of my own. Will is power. It is the means to shape the world as one desires. Master!
Oblivion fades. This tale's end has been unwritten. My heart, it aches. A new world comes. A new tale is set to unfold. Yet, it seems I will not be there to watch it.
Open my eyes on the world. Oh, without hope, without pain, I'm alone in a world full of turmoil and strife. But I'm alive, and I know I'll survive. I will make it. A stage set for greatness, with no audience to witness the cast take their place. Raise the curtain and let the drama unfold. All told, we'll be glad that we got to play. Open my eyes, take a step on the road that will lead me into the dawn. I don't know where it will take me to, but I know I'm alive, and I will make my way. Made my choice, I finally see that I am finally free. See me, hear me, take my hand. I will follow you if you will follow.
And thou shalt live to claim the... Intriguing. Thou wishest to dismantle the world's will, just as I do. Yet dost thou know what awaiteth the world, should it meet such a fate? Would become a fleeting, fragile, vacuous thing, bereft of the cycle. Naught would be born into it save chaos, great and terrible. Surviving in such a world would be no simple matter. Shall not change my death, nor shall it change with thine. Consider, Arisen, how it is thou came to be. How have the once closed paths before me come to be cleared? Think well, Arisen, but rest not. I will know thine answer through the strength of thy will. Thou shalt cut a swathe through the false benevolence enshrouding this world. Arisen, pitiable soul tossed by the winds of fate. Wilt thou slay me, or be slain? I know not how this story endeth. For the outcome was determined in a time before him. And yet, Arisen, born of a hapless faith is upon us. We must decide a victor, and in so doing, form a link in the chain that bindeth this wheel. Tell me, Arisen, what is thy desire? Is it to slay the dragon, thereby delivering the darkness? Or dost thou only seek the conquest of the mighty foe?
Give its breath a wide berth. Evade it carefully.
Alas, I am slain. But heed this, Arisen. By will alone doth the world form a ring, an unending cycle. All is preordained, even my death at thine hands. Yet perhaps thy will is great enough to put an end to it.